right, Maria. Well, thank you very much. And it does not get better than this. UConn and Baylor. A trip to the Final Four is on the line. Two legendary coaches about to go at it. Kim Mulkey, the three-time national champion, and Gino Auriemma and his record, 11 national titles. Taking a look at our tournament bracket. The Elite Eight, it's all set. Two teams will punch their tickets to the Final Four tonight, UConn and Baylor, with first crack at it. As we welcome you courtside. Hey everybody, Ryan Rucco along with the Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo. We are delighted to be with you for this Elite Eight matchup. Rebecca, Baylor, as hot as any team in the country. They've won 20 straight games, bludgeoning opponents during that stretch and getting outstanding play from NaLyssa Smith. NaLyssa Smith is a National Player of the Year candidate, and for good reason. She is one of the most exciting, tough-to-guard forwards in the country. Can face up, make the mid-range, has range now out to three, get by defenders inside the paint, coming off a 24-point game where she did not miss a shot, 11 for 11. Baylor always known for its defense, and that is the head of the snake on the defensive end. Dee Richards, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, and she will be tasked tonight with guarding star freshman Paige Bueckers. No moment this season has been too big for Paige Bueckers. She has been ready to walk into every moment, and she sure did in the Sweet 16 game. She was delivering the ball to teammates. The pass first point guard makes it easy for everyone around her by delivering passes on the money. And she can get out and score as well, leading UConn in points, assists, steals. She will have a big task today. And she has been getting a lot of help. You take a look at the balanced scoring from UConn thus far in this tournament. It has been incredible. For more on this matchup tonight, let's check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, we are expecting an epic matchup. And why? Because history tells us we should. These two teams in their series history could not be more close. Just 5 points separates them in their all-time meetings. That is remarkable. Gino Auriemma and Kim Mulkey agree on one thing tonight, that this should be a national championship game, or at the very least a Final Four game, instead of meeting in the Elite Eight. They both believe Baylor was seated too low, and one of the things that COVID has impacted this year was the UConn-Baylor matchup that should have happened on January 7th. Because Baylor went on a pause after that, their 6 canceled games did impact their seeding, so we're getting this game tonight. Better late than never. It should be fantastic.
Oh, we are looking forward to it, Holly. A trip to the Final Four on the line. UConn has won 17 in a row. Baylor has won 20 in a row. Two outstanding defensive teams playing at the highest level of late and meeting for just the second time in their history in the NCAA tournament. The other matchup back in 2010 was won by UConn as the Huskies win the tip, and we are underway in the Elite Eight.
You see right away the matchup we are talking about. Dee Richards defending Paige Bueckers. She is long and tall and could give some problems to the freshman.
The reigning Defensive Player of the Year, a finalist for it this season as well. Bueckers had a look, didn't take it, now will and hit. Paige Bueckers' difficult shot to begin things for UConn.
No problem there.
Taking a look at our Capital One starting lineups for Baylor. Richards and Urson in the backcourt. Oliver, Smith, and Egbo round out the front court for Baylor. Dejanay Carrington will come off the bench likely very early for Baylor and come and grab Oliver as Urson gets free on a nice delivery from Egbo.
UConn starting out in his zone defense. Egbo able to cut down the lane and get free.
Taking a look at our Capital One starting lineups for UConn. Bueckers and Williams. Williams at 27 in the Sweet 16. Avina Westbrook, Aaliyah Edwards, and Olivia Nelson-Adota. As Williams misfires, Nelson-Adota the offensive rebound. Williams bodies in, lost it out of bounds. It's going to stay here with UConn.
Paige Bueckers loves to dribble right, and she can get to the spot she wants to get to. Here, she'll play with you a little bit, then goes right, elevates over pretty Good defense by Richards.
Williams had it stripped, and Baylor comes up with a steal. Here comes Richards. Dee Richards, who moved from the wing to the point guard position this season. Kim Mulkey's been so impressed with how she's handled that. Can't finish there. Egbo the offensive rebound. Good D from Nelson Adota, and UConn comes away with it. Look at a push. 3-on-2. Westbrook, the Euro step, pops it in.
Coach Oriama told us this morning, when Evina Westbrook sees the ball go in, she turns into a terror. You see the steal right there by Westbrook, feeling confident.
Westbrook was 1 rebound away from a triple-double in the Sweet 16. Williams, guarded by Oliver, trying to take her off the bounce. Williams using her strength to finish. This is the largest deficit of the tournament for Baylor. Neither of these teams trailed by more than 2 at any point through the first 3 rounds. Urson finds the cutter, and Oliver scoops it in. Nice offense there from Baylor. Nelson Adota doubled. Bouncing underneath. Edwards looking for some space. Westbrook will fire and hit from 3.
Connecticut likes to play through their high post, play through Olivia Nelson Adota. She did a nice job there, making good passes to her teammates.
You know, Oriama telling us before the game today, as Smith couldn't finish, that when Westbrook is hitting shots, everything else happens for her. As Williams can't finish, Westbrook gets fouled by Urson, and an early personal on Moon Urson. We talked about Westbrook's complete game comes together when she's making shots. She's been making shots lately, and we're seeing everything else she does on the floor as well. As Dejanay Carrington will come and grab Trinity Oliver. A 9-4 start for UConn. Beckers will fire. No. Rebound secured by Smith.
Baylor wants to get out and push in transition, and they've got a forward who can do what Smith just did, get the board and handle herself.
Edwards comes up with a steal. Beckers lines it up and knocks it down. Timeout, Baylor.
Baylor, a great defensive team, but so is Connecticut. Aaliyah Edwards, the freshman with the steal, feeds the other freshman, Paige Beckers. 3, they're feeling it right now in San Antonio.
Well, Paige Beckers off to a strong start here in the Elite 8. Burying this 3 moments ago to give UConn an early 12-4 lead on Baylor.
Here we go.
We remember in the Sweet 16, this late 3 from Anna Makarot. And look at Paige Beckers. Go and give a little tap to her head coach, Gino. The turn saying, hold on a second. And Griffin could not get enough of it. The precocious youngster bringing such joy to this program in the nation.
I tell you what, Coach Oriama, watching him this season, looks like he's having more fun than he's had in a really long time. And I think a big part of that great block is the freshmen who have brought the energy to this team.
And I think there's a lot of coaches listening who said, yeah, I could have a good time with Paige Beckers and Aaliyah Edwards. Beckers backdoor lays it in. Nice delivery from Nelson Adota. 7 points in this first for Paige Beckers. Carrington can't hit. Williams the rebound. UConn playing at a fast pace in this opening quarter.
Coach Oriama in shoot-around today was telling his players, we need to keep Baylor moving today. They can't stand defensively. You have to move and cut and play fast.
Edwards high off the window and in.
Well, Rebecca, to follow up on that point, Coach Auriemma told his team it's all about space and pace. You see them spreading the floor. He does not want this to be a boxing ring, meaning in the paint against this big, tough, physical Baylor team. So space and pace are the keys for UConn.
Said we need to use all 94 feet as the foul's called against UConn.
And when you have space, you can get backdoor cuts like this, because the other side of the floor, everyone outside the three-point line. And how about Olivia Nelson-Ododa? That's your center. In their Sweet 16 game, she had 7 assists. They like to play through her in that high post area.
And one thing Nelson-Ododa has talked about as well is how much she's benefited from Aaliyah Edwards. And the way that they play off of each other, something Gina Auriemma has spoken about as well. Edwards running the floor, lays it up and off. It's a 10-1 UConn run. Baylor, an overtime win over Michigan in the Sweet 16 to create this Elite Eight matchup between UConn and Baylor. Egbo, 8 to shoot. Urson pumps it up and off. Smith the putback, and she's fouled. Foul will go against Edwards, and that's going to be the second on Aaliyah Edwards.
And that is huge, because Edwards, as we've seen already, is impactful offensively, the way she runs the floor. Defensively, she's the best matchup against Melissa Smith because of her ability to defend on the perimeter. And defensively, Connecticut's playing a man-to-man, but every player on the weak side of the floor is in the paint. They're not worried about Didi Richards when she doesn't have the ball, because she hasn't even attempted a 3 this year. It is a big-time sagging man-to-man D.
We asked Gina Auriemma to describe Baylor's offense, and he said, it's like the old Washington football team offense. So where they had the hogs on the offensive line and they just give it to Riggins and pound you. So that's what going up against Baylor's offense is like. We're going to have to out-tough them. Beckers nearly threw it away and did. Carrington flings it ahead to Richards, who lays it in as players spilled all over the floor.
That's what Baylor can do. They are so good defensively, can get steals, get out in transition, get quick points.
Edwards staying on the floor with those 2 fouls. UConn again without Nika Mule. Williams, no, rebound. Nelson-Ododa keeps it alive. Good look, Nelson-Ododa. Beckers turns, can't flip it in. Wanted a whistle, didn't get it. And now Baylor running. Smith from Richards for 2. Timeout, UConn.
You knew Baylor was going to make a push, and you knew it was going to start on the defensive end of the floor.
You can see Gina Auriemma is very upset with the no call, I believe, on the Beckers shot attempt.
But when you get steals or defensive boards, you can run the floor, and Melissa Smith is as good as they come for bigs getting end to end. I didn't think Beckers got hit. I thought she was just off balance, and great fast break going the other way.
The NCAA Women's Championship continues with the Elite Eight on ESPN Tuesday, 7 Eastern. Texas, after their thrilling win over Maryland last night, take on 1 seed South Carolina, and then at 9 Eastern, it'll be Louisville against Stanford, a battle of a 2 seed against a 1. Both those games on ESPN. Sweet 16 was absolutely incredible here in San Antonio. Unexpected results, riveting matchups, overtime. Beckers backdoor to the reverse, missed the layup. Baylor on a 7-0 run, which immediately followed a 10-0 run from UConn. Richards looking for space, kicks, Urson in the corner, on a 3.
Lavina Westbrook had her hands down, just staring at Urson as she drained the three.
Urson now 6 for 10 from 3 in the tournament. Richards the rejection. Make it Carrington. Carrington all the way in. No. Carrington looked like she got hit. Wanted a whistle. Didn't get it. Now UConn running. And Westbrook buries another 3 to end the 10-0 Baylor run.
This, so far, is a physical game. The understatement that Carrington got hit at this end last possession.
Urson can't finish, and a foul on Westbrook as Egbo trying to push it up on the putback.
Lavina Westbrook, just look at hands down. You got to put the hand up and contest. Urson is too good of a shooter. And then down here, all right, I gave up one at the other end. I'll get it back.
Are you even in the coach's eyes after that?
No,
I'm guessing not for Gino.
No.
Now, Baylor is not a team that hits a lot of threes. Caitlin Clark made more threes herself than Baylor has as a team this season.
That's not Baylor's style. When they won the national championship 2 years ago, they made 3 threes per game, last in Division I.
Running the floor, Griffin saves it, Williams banks it. And now Baylor quickly into the front court. Carrington buries a 3. She didn't like the graphic. They did. 21-18 UConn. Trip to the Final Four is on the line. Westbrook denied by Egbo. Carrington the push ahead. Urson rattling to the rim.
Gino Auriemma said he wanted to play with pace. Baylor is not afraid to play with pace.
Williams knocks down a 3. Kristen Williams with 7 points now in the first after 27 in the Sweet 16. Smith unable to hit. Becker secures it.
Everything you hope for so far?
Tremendous. Becker's the pull-up is good. The freshman Beckers with 9 in the opening quarter of the Elite Eight. Five straight points for UConn after Baylor had cut it to 1. Carrington found a lane to squeeze it in.
She has been so good all season off the bench for Baylor. What a scorer.
The transfer from Stanford, Kim Mulkey said, hey, if she misses shots, she's not afraid to keep shooting. And now Smith on the steal. Nalissa Smith lays it in. Williams. And that will do it. What a riveting opening quarter in San Antonio. UConn a 2-point lead after 1.
The fearless freshman with 9 points in the first quarter, and then the junior knows she's got to answer. And she does.
The first quarter, the highest scoring first quarter of the NCAA tournament thus far this year. UConn leading Baylor by 2. How about Baylor? 2019, they snapped UConn's 126-game regular season winning streak. 2020 handed UConn its first home loss since 2013. And a win tonight would end UConn's stretch of 12 straight Final Fours. Kim Mulkey, who will be inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame this spring, has had about as much success as you could hope to have against Gino Auriemma and the UConn Huskies. Carrington lays it up and off. Smith flew in for the rebound. Griffin got to it. Bodies hitting the floor, and it's Westbrook. Westbrook the shovel. Whoa, look out. That's going to be an offensive foul against Griffin as Richards took a full face of Griffin.
Great job by Richards to get in position. Ravina Westbrook can't make that pass. Your teammate is going too fast to handle it in that spot.
Well, guys, this is Didi Richards, the player that many of you have heard her story after a tough collision and the Baylor practice, was paralyzed for over 48 hours. She's made her way back through grueling rehab, but every time she hits the floor like that, I catch my heart in my chest because it just scares us to death. She is truly remarkable that she's walking and playing this at this level after being partially paralyzed just in October, guys.
It's incredible, Holly. It's absolutely unbelievable. As Griffin knocks down the jumper.
And not only that she's playing, but that she's playing the way she's playing.
Yeah.
She looks great, but she's also not afraid of contact at all.
To have a spinal cord injury and be back playing 38 days later and then play at this level all season. I mean, this, and some of you have seen what took place with Didi Richards, but a scary collision on October 24th with Moon Ursin in practice, and then had to use a walker to relearn how to walk in the aftermath of the spinal cord injury. I mean, you look at these shots, it's just so stark watching her relearn her body to think that she's been able to play in 29 games this season after suffering that and having to go through the physical therapy she did and playing at this level. It's simply remarkable. Here is Carrington ahead of the field, laying it in.
How often have we seen that? You know, as soon as Baylor corrals the basketball, the ability to push full speed the other way, get a step on UConn and finish. 11 fast break points right now for Baylor.
Nice dish. Westbrook and Carrington would have none of it.
We're seeing great athletic defensive plays on both ends of the floor. Here, Carrington recovers, gets the nice block. Last time down, Aubrey Griffin got one for UConn.
Nelson Adona can't spin that in. Nelson Adona's third career meeting against Baylor. Has not scored against them yet. Has grown so much as a player, though, something Kim Mulkey pointed out to us today as well. As Ursin lays it in, and this game is tied at 28. 10 points for Moon Ursin. UConn had a 16-4 lead early, and Baylor has erased it. Nelson Adona spinning and an offensive foul.
They want to play fast, but they have to play under control. Olivia Nelson-Ododa has struggled from the field and has not scored against Baylor over the course of her 2 and now the quarter-plus meetings. But I tell you what, today she has been very impactful. She's made good passes. She's been involved defensively. She's gotten to the boards. She's a different player than she was the first 2 times these teams met.
Yeah, 5 rebounds, 3 blocks, 2 assists already today for Nelson-Ododa. Carrington short, rebound Williams. Up ahead, Griffin lost the handle. Carrington there. Back at Carrington is just playing at an incredible speed. Hey, if you can't make it to San Antonio but want to be there for the Women's Final Four, join the NCAA in its fan cutout program supporting the K-Yow Cancer Fund, the Pat Summitt Foundation, and the San Antonio Food Bank. Look, there's our whole gang. For more information on how you can benefit these great causes and get your cutout in the Alamo Dome, go to ncaa.com/WFF cutouts.
Hi, Carol Stiff.
One of the great pioneers in our business for women's sports, Carol Stiff, now part of our hang over there.
Yep.
Our coordinating producer, Pat Lowry, hanging out there as well.
It's a party.
Westbrook gets the roll on the 3. Avina Westbrook, 11 points. She's 3 for 3 from downtown. Nice footwork from Egbo. Couldn't finish. Loose ball. Egbo gets it back. Bodies in. No. Nelson Adota, more good D on the interior. Beckers beautifully flung ahead. Beckers thought about it. Beckers, the pull-up. Oh, yeah.
UConn, since Aaliyah Edwards went out of the game with the 2 fouls, and Aubrey Griffin is much smaller. But they continue to battle on the boards against Baylor, and that is so key because Baylor, one of the best, if not the best, rebounding team in the country.
UConn right now a +4 on the glass. We heard Coach Landers talk about the importance of that for UConn on our pregame show just before tip. Egbo slips inside and finds an angle. Ridiculously high-level basketball in this first half between two of the best teams in the country. Not that time for Westbrook. Carrington able to flag it down. Pedaled it behind the back for a moment and gets it into the arms of Richards. Alyssa Smith was hopping up and down, wanted the basketball from Richards. Ursin flipped it up short. Egbo from 12. Oh, yeah, she's got it.
Baylor gets an offensive rebound on 46% of their misses, second in the country.
9 second chance points for Baylor. Nelson Adota was grappling with Egbo, but it's going to be a turnover for UConn. Incredible physicality, athleticism, and emotion. A trip to the Final Four is on the line. UConn a 1-point lead in the second. A 33-32 lead on Baylor, 4:11 to go in the second quarter. Baylor, 22 points in the paint, 9 second chance points. UConn shooting 54%. They're 5 of 8 from 3. Each team showing their style of play to get it done on the offensive end. Kim Mulkey told us, she said, you know, we have very different styles offensively. I think we're very similar defensively. As Carrington puts it in and gives Baylor the lead for the first time tonight.
Baylor has run that set multiple times to get Carrington a post up. Finally, she gets the basketball. The big guard scores.
9 points off the bench for Dejanay Carrington. Griffin on the cut, gets rejected by Smith.
Connecticut's moving and cutting has gotten them good looks, and then Baylor's defense and athleticism has gotten them good blocks. 3 blocks on the day for Baylor so far.
Nelson Adota with 4 of the 6 UConn blocks. Here is Westbrook. Looking for an angle, banks it in. And Nelson Adota has her first career bucket against Baylor.
Bickle in the game. Egbo out of the game. They go right at Bickle.
Ursin waits. Rejected by Griffin. Kim Mulkey thought Griffin caught Ursin on the wrist. Becker splitting the D. Couldn't finish, but is fouled. You know, Paige Beckers has been noticeably aggressive to begin this game. And that's something Gino Auriemma talked to us about the other day. He said, at times, she really lets the game come to her. And I tell her, no, there are times you need to go take the game. Feels like tonight, she's showing that level of aggression.
Well, you know, he was kind of hard on her after their game against Iowa. A lot of attention on both her and Caitlin Clark. And he said, it's the first time I felt like she looked nervous. And she has admitted she does get nervous before games. But Gino has been continuing to push and prod her. He said she was pretty good for somebody who was playing like they were in a coma the first quarter. You know, just always making sure she's never satisfied and he's pushing her.
Well, she certainly has come out looking to take the game here today.
13 points in this first half for Beckers. Those were the first free throws of the game shot by UConn. Urson lines it up, can't hit. That one is going to tilt out of bounds, back to the Huskies, and Queen Egbo's going to come back in as Kim Mulkey realized she could not go any longer with Egbo on the bench. Tried Bickle, tried Gusters, didn't like the way either looked. Had to get Egbo right back in there. Four offensive rebounds already in this game for Egbo. Nelson Adota posting, catching, can't finish. Egbo the rejection. Delissa Smith off one leg, short. Rebound secured by Nelson Adota, her 7th of the half. Westbrook can't hit. Had Beckers on the wing, and it's out of bounds off of UConn. The NCAA Women's Championship Elite Eight continues tonight on ESPN when those young women, Indiana, will take on Arizona, 9 Eastern here on ESPN. Somebody's going to their first ever Final Four. Terry Morin, Adia Barnes have done an outstanding job with their respective schools. It's going to be a fun one to watch. Beth Mowens, Debbie Antonelli, LaChina Robinson will have the call of that one for you here on ESPN. Shot clock down to 5. Carrington with it at 1. Gets fouled. The foul's going to go, I believe, against Williams. It is. And this will be 3 free throws for Carrington as the shot clock was about to expire.
She bumped her when she was landing. You have to let a jump shooter land. You might not like it, but that's the rule.
Carrington hits the first.
Well, guys, Dejanay Carrington is a transfer from Stanford, and she got to the team but was not able to really get into the gym and do what she needed to do because she was overcoming a knee injury. When she finally did get healthy from that, she had to go through a COVID pause herself, so it took her almost a month to really insert herself into this team. She is starting to really gel and come on strong right now. She is peaking like we have not seen all season long, and after a long pause, she is making her real impact on this team.
Yeah, Holly, the Big 12 Newcomer of the Year, the Big 12 Sixth Person of the Year. She has 11 points tonight. UConn a 1-point lead. 1:05 to go in this first half. And a whistle, I believe, against Urson.
Yeah, Urson had to switch on to Nelson Adota, and Urson is a strong guard, but she's not a big guard, and so she was battling the best she could and got a foul called as a result.
That's going to be the second foul on Urson, so Urson is going to head to the bench. Sarah Andrews, the number 7 overall recruit in the 2020 class, will check in. Williams will take. Short. Rebound secured by Delissa Smith. One-point UConn lead. UConn jumped out to a 16-4 edge. Baylor stormed back. Carrington gets another whistle. And Dejanay is going back to the line. Nelson Adota hit with her second personal.
Gina Oriema telling Olivia Nelson Adota, step in front of her. It's one of the hardest things for shot blockers to do because you want to jump and you want to block shots. You don't take charges. You're either one or the other. But then she gets her second foul as a result.
See Gino having an animated conversation with Avina Westbrook and Paige Beckers, directing traffic with them.
There's so many even matchups on the floor right now with these two teams, but right now, Carrington's had her way.
Carrington lost it. Melissa Smith can't hit. Carrington the follow. Dejanay Carrington. 14 points in this first half for Baylor. About a 5-second difference game in shot clock. Nelson Adota travels. And Gino Auriemma trying to focus his troops. As Moon Urson will come in for this final possession. Shot clock turned off. 9th meeting all time between these schools. It's 4-4. Smith hooks it up, difficult angle, and that will do it for the first half. Paige Beckers, perhaps the player of the year in the nation. The freshman with 13 points on 5 of 9 shooting. Melissa Smith, another top star in the country, 6 points, 8 rebounds. And her Baylor Lady Bears with a 39-37 lead at the half of this Elite 8 matchup. Wow. What an opening half. Speaking of an incredible opening half, Dejanay Carrington is with Holly Rowe.
Dejanay, you come into this game, and I saw you waiting there at the scorer's table. And your mindset as you entered this ball game?
That's what I've tried to do all season, is just come in and give us a spark, especially on offense. But as the season has gone on, I've been able to buy into the defense part too. So just trying to do that.
You have been disruptive. You've been like a predator out there. I love the physical nature of this game right now. What is the biggest challenge you've got to overcome with UConn?
We got to get back in transition. I think in the half court, I don't know, it's probably a handful of times that they've scored on us, but they're killing us in transition. So we just got to get our wind and get back and communicate. But we're good.
Okay, thank you. Yes, you are.
Well, Dejanay and Baylor end the half on an 11-4 spurt. J.J. Watt, we agree. This Baylor-UConn game is indeed fire. Baylor a 2-point lead at the half. A trip to the Final Four is on the line. Time to head to the studio. Maria Taylor, Carolyn Peck, and Andy Landers with the halftime show. Welcome back to the NCAA Women's Championship presented by Capital One. Baylor, a 39-37 lead over UConn. Somebody claims the Riverwalk region tonight as we get ready to start the third quarter. The winner of this matchup will be the first team into this year's Final Four. As we welcome you courtside once again. Hey everybody, Ryan Rucco with the Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo. We thought it was going to be a pretty great game. Yeah, it's been unbelievable thus far. And early in that first quarter, Rebecca, UConn found a way to get out and run.
Yeah, that's what they wanted to do. Coach Auriemma talked this morning to his team about pace and space, and the pace was in their favor in that first quarter. Able to get out in transition. They had 10 fast break points in the half. They all came in the first quarter. Just quickly moving the ball down, finding one another, getting quick shots. And then for Baylor in the second quarter, Dejanay Carrington took ownership. She is a big, strong guard. They ran plays for her here. Just a simple cross screen. Smaller Williams on her. She's able to score. Terrific first half for Carrington.
Let's check in now with Holly Rowe.
Well, I was able to catch up with Gino Auriemma, and he said he's a little frustrated because their defensive game plan was going to be to really load up the paint and force Baylor to take jump shots, and that just didn't happen. Baylor had 26 points in the paint. He also was a little frustrated with their turnovers up at the top of the key. Turnovers are a huge thing to keep your eye on here. Kim Mulkey said we're so similar in every category. Turnovers will decide this game, so it's very telling. Baylor had just 2 in the first half.
Holly, that's an excellent point. Kim said, I went up and down looking at everything, and the thing I came back to is, yeah, turnovers. We're going to have to take care of the ball. That is the key if we're going to separate and win. Shot clock at 3. Williams can't bank it in, and Richards the rebound. Carrington starts the second half for Baylor rather than sort of ceremonially coming off the bench. Urson storms in, can't finish. Back tap to Carrington. No on a three. Loose ball scooped up by Baylor.
It's really important to know after Holly's report and Gino Auriemma talking about loading up the paint. It's very different to load it up with Griffin than it is with Edwards.
And the layup there from Egbo, and this is the largest deficit UConn has faced in the tournament this season.
Edwards to the bench in that first half with 2 fouls. She is UConn's biggest and strongest player, as you see Kristen Williams trying to get the ball into her there. Just great pick and roll here. Dejanay Carrington delivering, and you have to give her tons of defensive attention because of the way she played in the first half.
Made the point about Edwards. Edwards a +5 in that first half for UConn. Griffin a -7. As Williams can't finish on the follow, that drops in for Kristen Williams. Persistent effort. 41-39, Baylor in front. Carrington, the pull-up is short. Edwards there to defend it.
Again, you're being met by 6'3", long and strong.
Westbrook gets it inside. Nelson Adota is fouled by Egbo, and that will be the first personal foul against Queen Egbo. Second time these teams have ever met in the NCAA tournament. They met in the semifinals back in 2010. A UConn win as Beckers slips inside for 2. 15 points for the freshman Beckers. Melissa Smith now finishing.
You know exactly what Baylor wants to do. They want to deliver inside to their bigs. You just can't stop them from doing it.
Westbrook can't hit the 3. It's out of bounds off Smith, and UConn's going to get a reprieve.
Paige Beckers can find a little bit of daylight. She can get through it, and here slices through 2 defenders. No help side there. One of the easier buckets for UConn since the first quarter.
We saw her dad in the stands watching here in San Antonio. Westbrook, backdoor, Beckers got hit, and Paige Beckers is going to shoot 2. Dee Richards upset with herself on the foul. It'll be her first.
And you heard Coach Landers talk about it at the half. When UConn had success in the first half, moving, cutting, assisting, Baylor took that away, turned them into a one-on-one team. They're much better when they can play that flowing team basketball.
Right, they had 30 assists, a season high in the Sweet 16 win against Iowa as Bob Beckers laments the missed free throw on the first attempt from Paige. She hits the second. But just 5 assists in that first half for UConn. None in the second quarter after the incredible distribution we saw against Iowa. And Gino Auriemma said the thing that impressed him most about the passing was they did that with Paige getting off to a slow start in that game. She is their main distributor. Carrington, no. Urson blocked by Nelson Adota. And a foul against Baylor. That is the 5th rejection from Olivia Nelson Adota.
And I have to say it again. That time, Carrington was met by Edwards. Very different look than Griffin, who's a great athlete off the bench for Connecticut, but doesn't have the same size. It'll be vital for Connecticut for Edwards to not get in more foul trouble.
2 fouls for Edwards. Beckers storming in, flipping up, no. Rebound taken by Williams, can't hit, and Carrington snares it on the weak side for Baylor. Carrington, 14 points in this game to lead all Baylor scorers. And Carrington sees it rim out. Westbrook the rebound. Beckers down court feed, and it's out of bounds. Last hit Williams. Baylor ball. The NCAA Men's Basketball Championship Elite 8 continues tonight on CBS, or stream games on the March Madness Live app from anywhere. For more information on game times and networks, go to ncaa.com. Rebecca, you've been in that locker room with Gino Auriemma. What do you think that halftime was like for UConn?
With a young team that relies a bit on freshmen, I think he was probably very calm and composed. He tends to have a great pulse on his team, gives them exactly what they need in terms of his fire.
This is a UConn team without a single senior. As Carrington leans in, flips it home, plus the foul.
So that time, in the first half, Gino Oriamo is telling Olivia Nelson-Ododa to take a charge. This is what it looks like when a shot blocker tries to take a charge. It's not comfortable. And a great take by DiJonai Carrington. She just continues to be a bully in the best way possible on the offensive end of the floor.
And that is the third personal on Nelson-Ododa as the rebound's knocked out of bounds by UConn. Make
well, guys,
that Baylor UConn ball.
The most important assist of the night might have just been Moon Ursin. DiJonai Carrington was bouncing off the court, and she was just about to crash into our RoboCam, and Moon's like, stop, stop. I think she just saved some serious issues right there, so good assist, Moon Ursin.
She saved our little droid. What'd you name it again, Rebecca?
RC1.
RC1. A close cousin of R2-D2?
That's right. Second cousin.
Oh. Beckers around the screen from Griffin. Nelson-Ododa out, so a smaller lineup now for UConn. Edwards gets the delivery on the block, can't flip it in. What physicality underneath here. Griffin will try it, no, and Ursin secures it for Baylor.
The officials let these players know very early in this game that they were going to let it be very physical.
3-point Baylor lead. Egbo has it knocked away. Becker's trying to flag it down. Look out from behind. She gets crushed. And Paige Beckers will shoot two.
Connecticut continues to try to push the pace whenever they can. Becker's out ahead of it. Met with multiple defenders. The swing and the swipe from Carrington puts her to the line.
And they'll actually give the foul to Richards, so number 2 on Richards. You know, watching Paige Beckers in this moment, Rebecca, this is an incredible freshman who broke so many records for a school that has a longer lineage of success than any in the nation. But we know it's games like this, against opponents like this, where a legend grows. And so the focus really zooms in on Beckers here in the second half of a 1-point game. She's acquitted herself beautifully so far tonight with 18 points thus far. Carrington again. She has been a monster. And that one's airmailed by Westbrook as UConn turns it over. Timeout on the floor. Baylor a 3-point lead. Someone goes to the Final Four tonight.
There has been no answer for DiJonai Carrington. Big, strong guard finishing over everybody.
Well, Chloe Jackson who hit that shot. Kalani Brown who starred on that team. Both in the building tonight to support their Lady Bears. Kim Mulkey with 3 national championships. Baylor, one of just 3 programs to sport more than 2 titles. UConn with their 11, Tennessee with their 8, the others.
Sometimes it's easy to forget, too, because of the COVID year. This team in green is the defending national champion.
That's broken up by Edwards. Becker's trying to flag it down, could not. And it'll stay with Baylor. UConn leaving Nelson-Ododa on the bench right now with 3 fouls. It's Beckers, Griffin, Westbrook, Williams, and Edwards. For Baylor, Smith, Richards, Egbo, Ursin, and Carrington. Knocked away as it was Beckers who was fronting Carrington in the post.
Baylor dominates in the paint, and they have all throughout the tournament, including tonight. And it's not just their bigs. DiJonai Carrington as well.
They were a plus 82 in the paint through the first 3 games of the tournament.
And it's often their guards getting out in transition, getting those points as well.
Well, that is a bonus for Baylor. Anytime DiJonai Richards hits long jumpers, just to give you some context, she hasn't attempted a 3 since November of 2017. 49-44. Baylor in front. Griffin denied by Smith, out of bounds off Griffin.
How imposing is Baylor on the defensive end? Griffin gets by, and Alyssa Smith, an elite athlete, able to block it right off Griffin, so they get the ball.
This is the largest deficit UConn has faced in the tournament. Smith connects! A big fist pump from Kim Mulkey after watching her star, Alyssa Smith, make it a 7-point game. Knocked away, Egbo hugging Edwards, and clearly a foul against Queen Egbo after the deflection.
One of the things that makes Alyssa Smith such a challenge on the defensive end is this. You have to give her cushion. She's so quick and can get by you, but then she can hit that shot. What time is it?
I don't think it's Dame time anymore. It's Smith time.
Central? Eastern?
We are on Central Time, actually. If we want to get literal, yes, Rebecca.
I'm just wondering what Smith time's on.
Baylor's over the limit here now, so free throws for Edwards, who misses the first. UConn, 5 of 7 from the line. Nelson Udota getting ready to check back in. Edwards, who's averaged 18 points per game in the tournament, misses both free throws, was 66% from the line this season. Entered this game 22 for 26 from the floor through the first 3 games of the tournament. She's 1 for 3 tonight. Carrington leans in, doesn't get that one. What a tip from Alyssa Smith. And a timeout taken by UConn.
Everything going right now for Baylor, defensively, offensively. How pretty is that? How pretty is that?
The third quarter has been an immense struggle for the UConn Huskies tonight. Just 7 points, 2 of 10 from the floor. They don't have a field goal in the last 5+ minutes. And they do not have an assist since the first quarter for a team that had 30 in the Sweet 16. Baylor a 9-point lead in this third quarter. A trip to the Final Four on the line. Beckers didn't take the shot, then fell and missed. Had a look from 3, she passed up. Richards, oh no. Oh, Dee Richards grabbing at the back of her left leg. Quickly back up on it.
Substitution coming in for Baylor. 24, Sarah Ancher.
We will see how Dee Richards is, but that is a critical injury for Baylor. The reigning National Defensive Player of the Year, a finalist for the award again this season. And can UConn take advantage on this side of the ball while she's out? Nelson Udota gets fouled, and Olivia Nelson Udota is going to go to the line.
A couple things to keep in mind with Richards. Not only her defense and her length and her size and how that can disrupt other teams, but also one of the best passers in the country. She's done a great job getting Baylor into what they want to do offensively.
Averages 6.5 assists per game. As Nelson Udota goes 1 for 2 at the line. UConn is now 6 for 10 from the stripe. Carrington whipped it across the court. Urson guarded by Griffin. Urson's pull-up is good. Moon Urson with 12 points on the night. She had 5 20-point games the first 123 games of her career. She's had at least 20 in each of the last 3 entering tonight. Beckers, nice cut to free herself for 2. It's a 20-point evening for the freshman Beckers.
First assist since the first quarter, Rod?
That's right. Carrington, the pirouette, couldn't finish. Williams, the rebound. Here comes UConn. Westbrook. Williams, open, a 3 is good. A big one for UConn. As Richards continues to be stretched out on the Baylor sideline. The freshman Sarah Andrews in for her and has her pass stolen. Beckers, a 3. You bet! And you could see Kim Mulkey turning back to the bench to check on the status of Dee Richards.
This UConn run has come since she's left the game.
An 8-0 run. And a foul here against Nelson Adota, and that will be number 4 on Olivia Nelson Adota.
Just not a good foul. There's no reason for it. Just stop short, and if the player catches and turns, try to block the shot or just stay upright.
Adota will check out. Edwards in. You could hear Kim Mulkey yelling, "Pick the pace up, Sarah." Talking about her freshman point guard who's into the game for Richards. Andrews tosses, cross court. Egbo, center of the lane, and that's a travel.
With the lineup that Baylor has on the floor right now, I think they should run pick and roll with Urson and Nalissa Smith. It's really tough to defend because Urson is so good at the mid-range and Smith is so good either popping or rolling. Let those two be the ones determining what's happening on the offensive end.
UConn on an 8-0 run. 7 seconds left in the quarter. Back door, taken away by Andrews. 2 seconds left in the quarter. Andrews lays it up and off, and that will do it for the third. Buckle up. The fourth quarter is coming up next. Baylor a 2-point lead. UConn on a 9-2 run since the injury. UConn finished the third quarter on an 8-0 run, taking advantage of the Dee Richards injury. A big 3 here for Kristen Williams. Paige Beckers, the freshman, with 23 points already tonight. And Kim Mulkey exasperated as we start the fourth quarter of this Elite 8 matchup. Holly Rose started the game talking about how both Gino Auriemma and Kim Mulkey felt like this matchup was better suited for a national championship game, or at least a semifinal. It has looked every bit like two teams who are capable of winning a championship. Start of the fourth quarter, Baylor by 2. Dee Richards back into the game after that hamstring injury. And a foul here underneath against Griffin. As we check in with Holly.
Well, guys, I watched carefully as Alex Olson, the athletic trainer for Baylor, really massaged out that left hamstring. She's complaining of some pain right up at the top of the hamstring where it meets the glute. They've put some topical gel, wrapped it very tightly, and she's giving it a go.
Carrington, how about the footwork? Just left it short, got it back, had it stripped. Beckers flings it across the floor. Let's watch Richards' movements as well. She's sort of hopping.
I'd attack her. I'd get the ball to Aubrey Griffin and let her go right at her because Richards is not moving well.
Williams bodies in, gets the whistle against Egbo. Third foul against Queen Egbo, and free throws here for Kristen Williams.
Connecticut not been good at the line today. Only 6 for 10. Kristen Williams on the season, 69%.
Williams hits the first. And one other thing we saw at the end of that third quarter was Baylor start to turn it over a little bit when Richards went out of the game. That was Kim Mulkey's key. That we will win if we take care of the basketball. They have all night, but didn't at the end of the third. Had 4 turnovers in the last couple minutes of it, and UConn now on an extended 10-0 run has tied it.
And extending their pressure after the free throw.
5th tie of the game. We've had 3 lead changes. Smith dishes it back out. Carrington bodies in, and that's going to be a charge as Carrington lowered her shoulder into Griffin.
But I like that she's looking to be aggressive because she's had so much success doing that in this game. Yes, Griffin is there to take the charge.
Tied at 55. A trip to the Final Four is on the line tonight. Beckers doesn't get the roll. Edwards the offensive rebound, and UConn is back in front. A 12-0 Huskies run. Egbo can't answer. Loose ball snared by Westbrook.
I liked how the last set ended, though, for Connecticut with an on-ball screen for Paige Beckers.
Beckers, the leaner, rolls in. 25 for Beckers. Carrington doesn't have the answer. Knocked out of bounds. Looked like it had lasted Williams. Urson thought so as well, but it's going to be UConn basketball.
There's a reason Paige Beckers is a favorite for National Player of the Year. She can get to the spot she wants to get to. She can get her shot off against great defenders. She is not afraid of the moment.
A 14-0 run for UConn. Like Moon Urson had a real argument that had last hit Williams and not her. Here's Beckers, another 3. You bet! Paige Beckers is feeling it. A 17-0 UConn run. Bickle into the game for Baylor. Carrington, and that's going to be another charge.
Aubrey Griffin came in the game this second half when Olivia Nelson-Ododa went out. What an impact Griffin has made these last 2 possessions on the defensive end. Nelson-Ododa went out because she couldn't take a charge and got the foul. Griffin here taking them.
A 17-0 UConn run over the last 5 minutes. Williams adding to it.
I'd take a timeout if I was Kim Mulkey. Settle the troops.
And another turnover. No. Last hit UConn. It's going to stay here with Baylor. Richards on the bench now. Andrews in for Baylor.
A freshman with pure ice in her veins. We've said it all season long. The bigger the moment, the bigger she plays.
Urson can't hit. Loose ball gathered by Bickle. Egbo and Richards both on the bench right now for Baylor. Nalissa Smith to the hook. That's a pro move from Nalissa Smith. And now a timeout taken by Baylor. UConn's run ends there. 7-point game, 4th quarter of the Elite Eight. Dee Richards back on the bench after hamstring injury. This game turned with her injury. UConn just had a 19-0 run ended on an Nalissa Smith bucket. A 7-point Huskies lead. 6.5 minutes to go in the 4th. A trip to the Final Four on the line. Beckers already with 28. Beckers leaning, no. Rebound Urson, a chance in transition for Baylor. Bickle gives it up. UConn got back swiftly there.
You got to look at Alyssa Smith, though, when she's posting up Kristen Williams. She has the size advantage. Connecticut was able to switch back.
And Smith unable to handle as that went through the arms. Rebecca, this has been a huge story now. The turnovers in the second half for Kim Mulkey's team. Holly Rowe talked about it earlier. That was the one differentiation that Kim Mulkey was able to identify when going through the closeness between these teams. Her team took care of the ball in the first half. They have not since late in the third.
And many of them unforced turnovers, like the last one.
Deckers, 8 to shoot. Tripped up by Carrington, trying to call a timeout, and she got it. With 5 on the shot clock, Beckers got the timeout. She felt there should have been a foul against Carrington, and to the naked eye, it looked like she had a good case. Now, how did UConn build this comeback? Well, it started with this injury. Dee Richards goes down, grabbing at the left hamstring. UConn took advantage. 9-2 at the end of the quarter from that point of the injury. Beckers adding to the legend. The freshman Edwards getting involved. All in all, Rebecca, it ended up a 19-0 run for UConn after their injury from Richards helped spark it.
And so much credit going to Paige Beckers for taking control of that. Now, not having a trip called there, Paige Beckers calls the timeout. I don't know that Gino Auriemma wanted that timeout. It only leaves him with 1 for late game, Ryan.
Excellent point, Rebecca. Shot clock is at 3. Beckers can't hit. Edwards unable to clean it up. Knocked out of bounds off of Edwards as we check in with Holly.
Well, guys, you talked about the run that UConn's gone on without Dee Richards on the floor and the unforced turnovers. I have to tell you, she is the heart and soul of this Baylor team. Everything this young woman's been through this year, this has to be an emotional gut punch for these women on the floor right now, for Dee Richards to be injured and out after everything she's been through.
And can someone else on Baylor step up? Bickle trying to. How about that finish? Across her body to make it a 5-point game.
Caitlin Bickle is an offensive threat for Baylor. That's why Kim Mulkey has her in the game with the team at a deficit. When she needs points, that's a post player she can put in.
Deckers guarded by Carrington. Williams swooping through and laying it in. 18 points for Williams. A 7-point UConn lead. A trip to the Final Four on the line. Andrews storming into the lane. Nice finish from the freshman Andrews.
Andrews played 1 minute in their last game against Michigan. What a huge bucket.
And Williams trying to flag it down, able to save the possession there for UConn. Williams gets the angle on Urson, just couldn't finish. Bickle the rebound, and a chance here for Baylor. Down 5 with the ball. Carrington has been fearless. Carrington needs some help here. Shot clock at 8. Carrington around the screen from Bickle. Carrington a 3, rims out, and the rebound taken by Edwards.
And a great defensive possession by Edwards. The big can switch out, defend on the perimeter, not get beat, contest the shot, get the board.
Carrington now 1 of 7 from 3. 5-point UConn lead. Beckers guarded so closely by Carrington. Beckers zipping around her, couldn't lay it in. Alyssa Smith secures it. Here comes Baylor on the push. Urson through the lane, gets fouled, and will go to the line with a chance to make this a 1-possession contest.
Kim Mulkey coming back in with Queen Egbo. Therefore, Gino Auriemma coming back in with Olivia Nelson-Ododa. Both starting centers back in the game for these final 3 minutes.
Elsa Dodota with 4 fouls. Egbo with 3. Urson misses the first free throw, and Baylor just 7 of 13 from the line in this game. Urson shot it at 77% this season. Richards just a vocal participant at this point for Baylor. The rebounding battle essentially even. You could say the same for the free throws. UConn a 4-point lead, under 3 to go. Williams has 18. Shot clock under 10. Williams on the drive, looking for help. Westbrook run off and fouled by Andrews. That'll be the 4th foul against Baylor in this 4th quarter. Side out of bounds here for UConn.
UConn gets bailed out with that foul by Baylor. That was a possession where Paige Beckers did not touch the basketball. That's what Baylor wants to do defensively. Connecticut offensively, you need the ball in her hands at some point.
Williams. Beckers trying to work for it, has it. Beckers jumper, rims off, rebound Urson. Baylor down 4 with the ball. Urson lead feed, Egbo can't finish but a foul. And free throws coming for Baylor as Beckers thought she was fouled up around the free throw line.
Beckers tries to step in. I like that that was a no call. She was leaning. Ooh, little touch on the arm.
Egbo at the line. 2 massive free throws here. And she misses the first. 64% this season, 55% in her career. Baylor leaving points at the stripe. Egbo goes 1 for 2. It's a 3-point game. 2 minutes and 17 seconds to go. Baylor on an 8-2 run. UConn the lead. Heck of an Elite 8 contest between 2 of the best teams in the nation. Shot clock is at 7. Edwards gets it to Beckers, a 3, off the mark, rebound Smith. Baylor a chance to tie here with a 3. Urson lobs it to Edwards, out of bounds, off of Baylor. It's UConn ball.
No reason to hurry. That's what Kim Mulkey is telling her team. Settle down, slow down. Let's get the shot that we want.
Now they can review who this last touched. It's inside of 2 minutes remaining.
And as always, important to note, the call on the floor, UConn basketball. Therefore, it has to be clear and conclusive in order to overturn the call.
Let's see. Ruled UConn ball, and I think that was the right
Under
call.
review is the out of bounds call.
Queen Egbo's fingertips are the last to touch the ball out of bounds. This angle, it's harder to tell, but that first angle, that's what it looked like.
Now, the only question would be, did it scrape the left hand of Edwards? But I don't believe it did. No, it did not. And it looks like after Edwards gets a right hand on it, the right hand of Egbo comes through and is the final hand to make contact with the basketball.
And again, that's why the call on the floor is so important.
Baylor had a chance there in transition, and Urson got sped up a little bit. Ended up making an errant pass.
If Connecticut does keep possession, you wonder if Baylor will pick up in some full court pressure. Remember, Connecticut has only 1 timeout left, so if they have to burn one, just getting a ball in bounds, that will leave them with none for the final stretch of the game.
Connecticut with 1 timeout remaining, Baylor with 2. 4 team fouls on Baylor, so Connecticut is in the bonus. Connecticut has 1 foul to give. UConn owns the possession arrow. And you know what, Rebecca? This essentially acts as a free timeout.
Yes.
For these teams to catch their breath, and especially for UConn, who has just 1 remaining.
Unless they have a different angle than we have, I don't see anything that was clear and conclusive to overturn the call.
And they don't. The angles that we're seeing are the angles that they're looking at.
But they keep going back to the monitor as if like,
yeah.
You sure you don't have 1 more?
Well, it's interesting, Rebecca, because I agree with you.
After review, the call stands. There's not indisputable evidence to change the call.
So there you go, Rebecca. And you wonder, had it been made the other way, then it may have stood as well.
Exactly. That's why the call on the floor is so vitally important in these situations.
So it's UConn basketball. That, by the way, now is the 9th turnover of the second half for Baylor after they turned it over just 2 times in the first half. Kim Mulkey's key to this game. So UConn will inbound, 1:43 to go in the 4th, leading by 3.
Full court pressure from Baylor as to be expected.
Westbrook getting it across. No, a carry on Westbrook, and UConn gives it back to Baylor.
She was so worried about selling the foul call, and this is the right call, absolutely.
Carry is called, and you're right, Rebecca. She was leaning in looking for a whistle and instead got one, but it was for a carry. Chance for Baylor. Down 3. The freshman Andrews at the point with Dee Richards injured and out. In the corner, Urson. The jumper. No! And a foul against UConn on the rebound. They did have 1 foul to give.
Yeah, a little push by Avina Westbrook.
Here's Smith working the post. Nalissa Smith leans in, rejected by Edwards. Williams dashing ahead, stops, and lays it in. It's back to a 2-possession lead for the Huskies. Final minute here. Carrington gets fouled, and Dejanay Carrington will shoot 2.
Really great decision, though, by Carrington to get inside. And how about the defense by Connecticut? Aaliyah Edwards, the freshman, stays on her feet. Good outlet. Kristen Williams comes down. Good patience, bobbles the ball, but finishes. Carrington the other way, smart. She went quickly, didn't let too much time go off the clock.
Baylor's left a lot at the line in this 4th. Carrington hits that one. Carrington, 72.5% from the line this season. 69% in her collegiate career. Money hits both. It's back to a 3-point game. Baylor can play straight-up defense. About a 21-second difference game in shot clock. Beckers has missed her last 5.
You still want her with the ball in her hands, though, Ryan.
Williams misses the layup. Rebound Baylor, and a timeout is taken. Baylor basketball down 3 with 33 seconds remaining in this Elite 8 matchup.
They can advance the basketball. I would look for Kim Mulkey to get it in the hands of Dejanay Carrington or Nalissa Smith, attack the basket. You've had success getting to the free throw line. Make the officials blow the whistle. You can get in there. Then you can make the free throws, set up your full court pressure. Important to note, Baylor makes 3.5 three-pointers per game. They're 2 of 9 here today. There's plenty of time, though. Look to attack the basket. No fouls to give for Connecticut. They have to play straight up.
One timeout remaining for each team. UConn has the possession arrow. Baylor basketball down 3. 33 seconds remaining. Urson to inbound. Into the backcourt, Andrews able to evade Beckers, and now Baylor with a 5-on-4 for the moment. Beckers scampers back in. Harrington hawked out at the three-point line. Carrington trying to find space, forced it up, and got a whistle. Exactly what you were talking about, partner.
Melissa Smith was wide open at the top of the key, and she wanted the basketball and the opportunity to take the shot, but Carrington did the right thing. You attack the basket, make the officials. Look at Melissa Smith at the top. I'm open, I'm open.
And Gino Auriemma felt like his team had solid positioning as Carrington hits her third straight free throw. It's a 2-point game. UConn 1 timeout remaining. Carrington hits both. UConn's lead is 1, and Gino Auriemma will spend UConn's final timeout and will advance the basketball.
Most important thing here for UConn is going to be to inbound the ball. You're out of timeouts. You got to get open, inbound the ball, and inbound it cleanly. Baylor's going to come at you right away. They have a little bit of time to play with. They don't have to foul right away. They can try to get a jump ball. They can try to get a steal.
UConn out of timeouts. Neither team with a foul to give. Baylor has 1 timeout remaining. The Huskies have the possession arrow and a 1-point lead with 19.3 seconds remaining in the fourth. What a game it's been. UConn got out to a 16-4 lead. Baylor stormed back, had a 9-point lead when leader and point guard Dee Richards went down with an injured hamstring. UConn helped use that to catapult them on a 19-0 run. Paige Beckers, 28 points in this game. Ryan Rucco, Rebecca Lobo, Holly Rowe with you. Appreciate you hanging out with us for what has been an incredible basketball game between two championship caliber teams. 1 seed UConn, 2 seed Baylor. Both coaches felt that Baylor was underseeded and these teams shouldn't have been able to meet until the Final Four. But here they are in the Elite Eight in a 1-point game with 19 seconds left, and UConn inbounded. And Rebecca, you talked about it. UConn out of timeouts. So Gino Auriemma has to have a lot of trust right now in whoever's going to be making this pass, and it's Olivia Nelson-Ododa who will inbound. Nelson-Ododa peering in, gets it into Williams. Williams is fouled by Urson, and Kristen Williams will go to the line to shoot 2. A 69% free throw shooter. She's 2 for 2 tonight. Baylor has 1 timeout remaining. And Williams misses the first. Kim Mulkey instructing her team to take a timeout after this free throw. The second one for Williams is no good. Timeout Baylor. Williams misses both free throws. And now it's Baylor basketball down 1 with 17 seconds to go.
I think you use the same strategy you used last time. If you're Baylor, that worked successfully. Pick and roll situation with Carrington, clear out for Carrington, clear out for Melissa Smith. They're both tremendous athletes who can get inside, who can finish over defenders, or who force the defense to foul them.
And now in this UConn huddle, Rebecca, because UConn is out of timeouts, I'd imagine Gino Auriemma not just setting up his defense, but what UConn would do offensively depending on what happens here with Baylor.
And these are the types of situations that all schools, including Connecticut, have been working on. especially since the tournament started, late game situations, when you're in this and you don't have a timeout, your team knows this is what we're going to run. If we need a 2, this is what we're going to run. If we need a 3, this is the situation if we're really low on the clock. What he's drawing up is not the first time the players will have gone through what he'll want them to run.
Baylor has been the streak busters for UConn. They ended their regular season win streak at 126 in 2019, handed UConn its first home loss since 2013 last year, and tonight looking to end a string of 12 straight Final Four appearances for the UConn Huskies. Carrington will inbound. UConn leads by 1. Baylor ball, 17 seconds to go. The freshman Andrews with 13 seconds left. Carrington wants it on the block. 8 seconds left. Back to Carrington. 6 seconds left. Carrington on the drive. Carrington forces it up. No! Rebound UConn! And with 0.4 of a second left, Williams is fouled. A defensive stand from the Huskies, as Carrington couldn't find an angle inside.
They were trying to get Carrington on the post, and if she couldn't get the basketball, then Smith on the post. Carrington coming inside. Defenders
Under
straight
review
up.
is to confirm that the clocks are correct.
They're going to check and make sure the clock is correct. They cannot review whether or not that was a foul. They're going to make sure the clock is accurate. To the naked eye, looks like perhaps they could put a couple tenths of a second back on. Rebecca, that looked like...
It's so hard to tell. It looked like there could have been
a foul.
Yes, it looked like there could have been contact on Carrington's
After review,
arms.
we are adjusting the clocks to 0.8.
It wasn't incredibly obvious, but you could certainly make a case that the arm came down on Carrington. Let's take another look.
On her right elbow.
Absolutely.
But during that official review, I didn't see Baylor go into a huddle to draw up a play.
There absolutely could have been a foul called against Edwards. There was not, and now Williams at the line. A 1-point UConn lead, 0.8 of a second remaining. And now remember, Baylor is out of timeouts. Williams misses another free throw.
I'd miss the second one. That way you can't throw a long pass and get a quick shot off. Miss the second one on purpose.
Williams' second free throw is good. Baylor down 2 with the ball and a chance to try and organize and just get some kind of shot here.
You can catch and shoot. No dribble, but you can catch and shoot at 0.8.
Bickle will inbound it. Brought in just for this. Bickle down the floor. Caught by Beckers, and the streak lives. A 13th straight trip to the Final Four for the UConn Huskies. They outlast Baylor 69-67 the final. An incredibly gutsy game. You see Gino Auriemma discussing with Kristen Williams the missed free throws and probably also the strategy on the final one she made.
You know what he's doing? He's coaching her for the Final Four. She missed 2 devastating free throws near the end of the game. Right now, he gave her a big hug. He's getting her ready for the Final Four.
UConn a 69-67 win. Gino Auriemma lets out a celebratory scream. His Huskies are headed to their 13th straight Final Four. Let's take a look at our Capital One rewarding performance.
Paige Bueckers came out at the beginning of this game and set the tone. I am not going to let the game come to me when it's time to go to a Final Four. I'm going to go out and take it. A huge part of their big run in the second half to put them in this position as they go to there.
And Paige is with Holly Rowe.
Paige Bueckers, there's less than a second left on the clock. How were you able to get the most defensive stop and interception of your career?
Well, Holly, I want to tell a story. So today we are getting back from testing, and I started singing Never Say Never, which I haven't sang in years. And Jaden Smith's part was, they're bigger than us, they're stronger than us. And I said that, and I sang, and then as soon as I walk into testing, I see on the TV Jaden Smith and Karate Kid, and it's God. I mean, I asked him to give us strength for this game, and I just wanted to share that story because we played with God's strength today.
You never say never. There was a moment in this game, Dee Richards, who had been hounding you on defense, gets injured. Where did you take that moment and run with it?
Yeah, I mean, it's awful to see somebody get injured, but I knew how well she was defending me and how well she's been defending people across her whole career. So I just try to stay aggressive and stay with the strong mentality.
Coach, how did you think Gina Auriemma did as a coach here in this big moment today?
That's the guy. I mean, he makes all the big calls. He's been doing this for 36 years, so I would expect nothing less.
What does it mean to you to be in the Final Four as a freshman?
Speechless. It's so crazy. I dream of moments like this. And I'm just so thankful for my team and my coaching staff, the confidence that they have in me, the trust that they have in me. I just love them so much, and I'm so proud of our team.
Never say never. Thank you, Paige.
Thank you, Holly.
Coach Auriemma, this was tight. This was hectic. How did your team close out this win?
I'd have to watch it again on the film because it seemed like for long stretches there, I thought we were just being manhandled, you know. They're bigger, quicker, faster, stronger, like Paige said. But we got a couple key stops when we had to, and then you know, Paige got that look in her eye. You know, she started getting some buckets. And when Paige is scoring, the rest of the team really gains a lot of confidence. And then our defense just really got good at the end. And we got some great stops, and we rebounded the ball. And, you know, this is a pretty young team still, you know.
Right on cue. They are a young team. How fun is this for you, Coach? This is so refreshing.
Well, you know, I think when you don't know, because you've never been there before, you know, you don't quite believe it. That's the problem. You know, if you've never been there, you don't believe it. And no matter how much we say it as coaches, no matter how much they see it on the wall or our practice facility, until they've done it, they don't quite believe it yet. And there were stretches during this game where I could see it in their face that they didn't believe it, that we could do it. And what I was really most proud of was there was a point in time late in the third quarter where the look in their eyes changed. You know, and I talked about it. I said, look, we have two choices now. We either figure out how to get stops and be tough enough to stay with our stuff on offense, or we're going home. There's no other choice. I wish I could give you a third, but there is no other choice. So that's great coaching, right? We either win or we go home. So
it is. It is. Well, thank you, Coach. We appreciate your time tonight, and we will see you in the Final Four again.
Thank you, Holly. I can't believe it. You know, each year that we do it, I still can't believe it.
Well, congratulations to Gina Auriemma and the UConn Huskies, headed to a 13th straight Final Four. One of the four is in. UConn awaits the winner of Arizona, Indiana. One of those teams is going to be headed to its first Final Four. That game is up next. Our final score, UConn 69, Baylor 67. For our producer, Kerry Callahan, our director, Jimmy Platt, Holly Rowe, Rebecca Lobo, and our entire crew. I'm Ryan Rucco. Gino Auriemma feels the confetti again as we head to Indiana and Arizona.